welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. We're diving into some Optavia today. We have not spoken about Optavia very recently, and if you're new here, you should know that I usually get pretty passionate about what they're saying in these videos, so you've been warned. This specific training, quote unquote, that we're reacting to today from Optavia is all about how coaching can be the solution to all your problems. Most of the time, you want to coach people to help them with their problems, not your problem. But anyway, we're gonna get right the fuck into it. But first, we need the disclaimer.
That's why I'm out on my own, someplace I can hide away. I feel like blessing my ride today. I feel like blessing my ride today. Good for the most part.
If you're not familiar with Optavia, they are an MLM, also known as a multi-level marketing company or a network marketing company. Some would even refer to them as a pyramid scheme. And the reason for that is because they have a recruitment-based business model. They get people on this diet plan that they sell along with the food and the books, and then they want to recruit them as coaches, which is what we're going to be talking about in this training today and reacting to. So without further ado, let's hear how the fuck coaching has changed these people's lives and how it can change yours too.
Brother, here we go.
We are so glad that you're joining us here tonight. I hope everyone had a fabulous weekend and is looking forward to a new week. I won't have David share before coaching what his Sunday nights were like. Anyone else dreading going back to work tomorrow? Yeah, we used to do that too. But what I wanted to share with you tonight is that we are so excited for you to be here.
I just want to share that I'm excited you're here. Anyone else? Anyone? I guess I should let her talk more. I've just had entirely too much coffee.
Caffeine is a drug, don't you know?
Anyway.
We are so excited to share with you our story with Optavia, and you're also going to get to hear from a few friends of ours who have all had some pretty incredible transformations. But tonight is a little bit different. Usually when you come on these things, we hear all about health and different things like that. And you'll hear a little bit about that tonight. But what we're going to talk about tonight is how becoming a coach with Optavia has not only impacted our lives, but specifically our finances. And stick around to the end. Don't give up on us, but stick around to the end.
We're already kind of making financial claims, and that's against FTC guidelines.
Huge red flag. Huge. All right.
We are going to share with you an incredible incentive that's called the Impact Multiplier. That just sounds cool. But it is a quadruple. And for those of you who don't math, that's four times bonus. It's incredible for the next 3 months.
If you don't know what quadruple means and you're a full-grown adult who's graduated high school or gotten a GED, we have other problems, my friend.
We have been coaches for 8 years and have never seen an incentive or an opportunity like this before. So we are excited. And a bunch of you are here for different reasons tonight. You might be here because, like me, 8 years ago, you see an opportunity to make a difference in the world, or you were shared the income possibility of, with this new bonus, maybe making between an additional $700 or $7,000 between now and Christmas. And you said, I want to know how. I need to know how I can do that.
I should let you know that this is from mid-year 2024, I believe. So it is not between now, May 2025, and Christmas. They are referring to last year. But that is also a very fucking steep income claim again.
Or you might be invited to just be a fly on the wall by your friend or your family who is super gung-ho about coaching, and you just had to come check it out. So it doesn't matter why you're here. Welcome. All right. And I do need to get this a little bit out of the way. And my handsome husband is going to share, maybe, now that we have black screen, he's going to share the little bit of what we call an income disclaimer, because there are no actual guarantees. So we're going to share literally some finances with you tonight. And what we can only say is that there are no guarantees. We ready to go?
We're ready to go.
All right.
At least at the very minimum, they have shared the income disclosure statement.
Pretty low bar for greatness, but all right.
All right, hit share. You're already sharing.
Already sharing.
You're
All
good.
right. So these figures are not guarantees or projections of expected earnings or profits, and the income levels represented do not include expenses independent Optavia coaches may have incurred in building their business. Optavia makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with Optavia results from successful sales efforts, which required hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Awesome.
Could you imagine if you went to a job and they were like,
hey, there's no guarantee you're making money. In fact, you might lose some.
what would you do?
I'm leaving immediately.
Would you be like, yeah, let's go. Let's dive in. I'm here to volunteer my money. It's like going to the casino.
So you do that part. But like I was saying earlier, I kind of mentioned it quickly. I found Optavia 8 years ago through a friend. And I saw her weight loss and I said, I need some of that. And I got started, but literally I'm just gonna shut that ringer off. There we go. Within a week, I couldn't believe how I was feeling and looking. And so I wanted to share this program with other people. The same way I would tell my friends and my family about maybe a good kitchen gadget, like my Ninja Creamy. If I've shared the Ninja Creamy with you before, like give me a high five in the chat or something, or a good movie or a good vacation spot. But I'll tell you what, I never got paid by doing that. And although my Creamy is pretty stinking awesome, it is not life-changing like this program is. It's close, but not quite.
It's different because you didn't get paid to share it. Are you fucking kidding me? What? I see the irony in the statement that I'm about to make because I am a content creator and I do make money online. But why does everything we have to post be about,
is this worth sharing? Am I gonna make money off of it? Or should I just not post it and keep this goodness of the Ninja Creamy to myself?
why is that the standard we go by on social media now? It's kind of gross. And I'm saying that as a content creator. It's absurd.
So within a week, and this is where the cool part starts, but within a week of being a client, I became a coach.
Yikes.
That's a red flag. If somebody tells you within the health industry, they were like,
Yeah, I went to this doctor and they prescribed me this medication. So now I'm going to sign up to prescribe this medication.
you don't have the education behind what you need to actually coach these people through a weight loss transition or food relationship issue, anything of that nature. You don't have the tools to help them do what they need to do. You likely don't even have the tools to help you know what you need to do. And acting like you do just because it's going to financially benefit you is horrific.
And because I saw it and I wanted to help people. And hang on, I'm trying to share here, do multiple things at multiple times. Which one? Okay. You're touching it, honey. Let go.
Stop touching my shit.
There we go. So I became a coach within my first week.
Oh, this is bad.
And within my first month, I actually helped 5 people get started. Within my first 3 months, I was earning about $1,700 with about 10 clients and a couple coaches on my team.
What about their health? How's their health? How's their blood work? Did anything improve for them health-wise, or is it just financial?
And then within 6 months, I had earned a free trip to Costa Rica and was making about $3,000 a month. Again, no guarantees. This is just sharing a little bit about my story. And at this point in the business, I was 6 months into coaching. I was having a lot of fun. I was connecting with and helping friends and family get healthy. And what it really did for me at the time was it sparked a flame inside of me that had really grown dim, being what I felt was just a homeschool mom and just a wife. And I love my family, but I had lost me. And if you're a coach currently and you kind of felt that way too, and being a coach really kind of gave you that purpose again, man, put something in the chat so other people can see that it's not just me. And coaching really brought me alive again. I fell in love with serving others. But in our finances, a turning point happened. It happened in my business after about 6 months. I was having fun. Like I said, David's job, unfortunately, took a turn for the worse. And I knew that if I could show him that this could be more than my little mom hobby, that this could actually support us, that he might just join me. And in the next 6 months, that's exactly what I did. I turned up the volume of my business, and within the next 6 months, we were living off of my Optavia income and we were saving his CTO salary.
But what about your health? And what about your clients' health? What about that? We're already off to a horrible start.
And what this did is this gave us options. It gave us options. David chose to leave his role as a CTO and he joined me as a coach, and pretty much the rest is history. Every year over the last 8 years, our business has impacted more and more lives, including our own. 4 years ago, we moved into an incredible home that we love. We've traveled all over the world, including Scotland, Ireland, and Paris for our daughter's high school graduations. And being able to provide for our aging parents, support missions that are near and dear to our hearts, all of these things have been possible with coaching. But the best gift that has come from coaching has been the lives impacted. And you're going to hear from some of those tonight.
Yep. So tonight, there's a couple of things that we wanted to cover.
The product?
And that is, the topic of the night was financial stress.
Oh, what the f?
I thought they were going to talk about food because there's food. I'm like, oh, we're finally going to talk about the product. No, we're talking about financial stress. Are you fucking kidding me? What about the product that you sell, which is gross, processed, healthy food? Oh, okay. Let them keep talking. Maybe we're going to get there.
And just so you know, like Deanna and I did not come from a privileged background. Like we came from very, very humble beginnings. But like many of you, opportunities just present themselves. So tonight, we just want to present a certain opportunity, and it's up to you to decide if it's a fit. But here's the deal, guys. Lots of people, everyone tends to have a physical health challenge. And unfortunately, look, the odds are stacked against us. I mean, the food industry is designed, especially in America, is designed to make it a very addictive properties and just get you to overconsume. But why are we overconsuming?
Stress, anxiety, perhaps.
Like, what's the reason that we're overconsuming? So many things. And this is interesting. I took my own little survey and I did a little poll on my own personal Facebook page. And I asked people to prioritize in terms of healthy mind, healthy body, healthy finances. How would you prioritize that? And it was interesting to see the feedback that came back. But one of the surveys that I saw out there, and I cited the source here below, it talked about not only 50% of respondents have responded talking about how the rise of costs of everything. I mean, I don't know if you've been looking, but everything these days is extremely expensive, right? I mean, just everything is skyrocketed, but have your salaries gone up? Most likely not, right? So they were talking about how it's also translated into physical stress, and that physical stress is manifesting in poor health, poor sleep.
So because of your financial stress, your health is bad. So you need Optavia because it could fix everything. That's where we're going. These people are insane. What are you doing? Oh my God. No, this is just going to cause more financial stress in most cases, causing you to have more health issues because when you join an MLM like Optavia, you're likely going to lose money, not even break even. And that is according to the FTC. There's an article linked in my description always that you can refer to confirm that most people that join an MLM lose money, which again is going to cause you more financial stress and cause the domino effect of the physical stress. But go off, King.
Sound familiar? Right? And all those different things. And so they're talking about what does that look like? Again, here's my favorite one. People talking about sleep, backaches, headaches. Anybody have migraines after trying to do your budget? I mean, yeah, that's not fun, right? But the other thing that really got me is where they talked about the mental health aspects. Just the financial pressures, putting the mental health, self-esteem, physical. And again, we wonder why we're putting on this excess weight. Wonder why we're putting on this excess weight. Yeah, because we have all these different factors coming into play. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But Optavia is focused as a health company. Do we offer weight loss? Yes, we do. But we also offer health. And guys, that is a $90 billion industry. 90.
Just because the money is there in that industry doesn't mean that you should flock to that industry. That industry requires a lot of education, and it should require this to not be allowed. But here we are. If you see an industry like this, like the weight loss industry being a $90 billion industry in 2023, first of all, ew, that just speaks to the toxic nature of the weight loss industry. But second of all, you should probably look at the types of professions that are bringing in that money. Where's the breakdown?
The spectrum's too broad.
You just calling yourself a coach because you joined an MLM is likely not going to land you very far within that circle of the weight loss being a $90 billion industry. There needs to be a further data breakdown for people to make an informed decision about joining this toxic MLM, Optavia.
I think there's a little bit in there for you. Okay. So tonight, and look at that fraction of market share that Optavia has, by the way, which is growing, because we're focused on health and the company is cash positive. But tonight we wanted to also talk about, and you're going to hear some stories and people sharing their experiences. And I really want you to dial in, because these are not employees. These are people, regular people like yourself, like us, that just, look, I didn't plan a coach. I didn't plan also to get fat, right? I got stressed out and all those different things. So we get compensated extremely well. Why? Because we're compensated to just help people do what we've already done. And who isn't that the best coach that is? So,
well, what the have you already done? We are 11 minutes into this call already, and you haven't talked about the product or what it does. You just hinted that it's a weight loss product.
And for that reason, I'm out.
We wanted to have one of the, and we get to coach from any years. Deanna talked about that in our travels. So we wanted to have one of these speakers share. She has been coaching for just not too long, but she's had a greater experience. And
actually, you're a little bit ahead of yourself.
Why don't you just back the fuck up, man?
Yep, you jumped ahead. So
sorry, Amy, hang on.
That's probably because I rearranged things on him before he got started. But I do want to share a couple more things with you before you hear from our friend Amy. So let me share this one more second. This one? Yeah. All right. The beauty of what we get to do as a coach is we get to coach our clients and from anywhere. I was a business owner prior to coaching. I had a brick and mortar location. Clients would come and see me, but that entailed a lot. It entailed me having to manage employees. It entailed me having to pay rent and pay overhead and carry inventory and do all kinds of crazy things.
You mean act as an actual business owner and not a 1099 contracted employee? Interesting.
With Optavia, there's none of that. And that really gave me freedom and flexibility in my schedule and when I could come and go. And I want to share with you, like me, I became a coach, like I mentioned, in my first week. Where most people become coaches is somewhere between when they start Optavia and are seeing results. And we know a lot of you on here tonight are already current clients. And so you've been seeing the results of this. You might only be a client for a few days, or you might be a client for a few months or even a few years. And so, but when friends and family start to notice, that's usually a sign that, maybe I could help some of these people, just like my coach, who is probably a friend or family member of yours, helped you get started. And so there's all different places where people get started.
Here is a big red flag to look out for when you are looking to improve your health. If a coach comes up to you or approaches you with a coaching opportunity or any kind of opportunity, ask them where they got their education. And if it's just them figuring it out for themselves and wanting to help others, run away, because every body is different. And if you don't have the education behind how to handle bodies that are different from yours, then you should not be guiding them through any kind of health journey. Have a fucking seat. Just because you did it for yourself doesn't mean you should do it for everybody else. I have been open about the fact that I lost 70 pounds on a GLP-1, but I'm not going to run out and be like,
hey, let me help you through your GLP-1 journey because I did it.
No, I don't have the education to fully help somebody through that journey. Doctors do. Pharmacists do, nurse practitioners, registered dietitians. And if you look at the coaches within Optavia, most, if not all of them, are not registered dietitians or actually trained in any way, shape, or form. They just did it and had good results. So now they're going to try to do it so they can make money. They want to financially benefit off of your health struggles. Let that sink in before you decide to do anything like this.
You're going to hear from some of those today. But, as we talk about coaching, and I'm sure whoever invited you into Optavia has asked you about the opportunity to partner together to help some people get healthy. And sometimes when you hear that word, I might be a coach or helping other people, you might have some of these things that pop into your head like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. I'm not at my goal weight. Or, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I've gone up and down. My scale looks like this. How could I ever possibly help anyone? By the way, there's no perfect coaches out there either. I'll tell you that. It might be like you don't have a huge weight loss story and you're thinking, how am I supposed to help people if I really just wanted to get healthy myself or have a little bit more energy or just even sleep better? It could be that, I'm a little nervous to talk to people. I've never done sales. I've never shared anything. And I guarantee you have. If you've told someone about a good movie, you've shared something that you enjoyed and you're passionate about and you believe in and you wanted them to know about it.
That's not the same thing.
Telling somebody to eat between 900 to 1200 calories a day to lose weight, regardless of what their body is like and what they might actually need, is not the same as recommending a movie. You could destroy somebody's metabolism by giving them this diet, quote unquote. Gross. You can't destroy somebody's metabolism or do anything to their health by recommending a movie. Unless it's like a horror movie and you didn't tell them and they got jump scared.
Sorry for the jump scare.
We are talking apples to oranges. What are we doing? How is this allowed? I still don't understand how this is allowed in the health industry. It's sickening. Why is nobody doing anything about it?
And that's exactly what we do as coaches. So now we're going to bring on the incredible Amy so you can hear from her. Go ahead, girl.
Hello. My name is Amy Avert, and I have only been coaching for 4 months. So I am kind of new to this world still. I currently work full-time as a 7th and 8th grade math teacher, and I do a few other things on the side as well. I'm the pep club director, the student council sponsor. I'm a mentor teacher, and I'm the part-time worship pastor at our church. So the question, am I a busy lady? Yes, I sure am. Always, I feel like. And to be completely honest with you, I wish I didn't feel like I had to do all of those things. But in the past, I have had to do all of those things before coaching. I have 2 daughters, and I'm going to get emotional. Gosh darn it, I was really hoping I wouldn't. But I have 2 daughters, and my youngest was born with a rare genetic condition. And because of all that she has going on, she just requires a lot of our time, a lot of our attention, a lot of travel to doctors and specialists that are out of the state.
Another thing you want to pay attention to if you are invited to a call like this, where somebody is pitching you an opportunity. First things first, I understand the struggles that she might be going through with a special needs child. However, that does not give anybody the right to use that story as encouragement to join a multi-level marketing company so that y'all financially benefit. It's disgusting. Imagine how that child is going to feel years down the road when they find out that they were used as a sales tool.
Susan didn't think this through. Medications and all of that equals a lot of money. And when she was born, my husband and I vowed that we would do everything that we could to make sure she was able to live life to the fullest. And
isn't that what we all do as parents? Like, that is not groundbreaking. I'm sorry that she has to go through this, okay? I'm not trying to be insensitive to that. However, that is not something new to parenting. Every time I birthed my children, I saw them and I'm like, I'm going to give them the best life. That's your job as a parent, to give them the best possible life you are capable of giving them, to try your best, to do your best. You don't need to join an MLM to make more money to be a good parent. And don't let anyone tell you any different.
And we've strived to do that for her since she was born. But there came a turning point for us in our finances this year, that our financial ability to do what we'd always done for her wasn't there any longer. And it felt like money and finances and the conversation of what are we going to do to be able to get her to the next thing was something that literally we talked about every single night in the kitchen before we went to bed. And I had been offered coaching years ago, and I initially had said no. And when we hit this point in the spring, I knew that we needed another stream of income. And I knew that I had heard about this and I had seen people be very successful in their coaching businesses on Facebook. And so I knew that I had a card to play. And I also knew from watching people live out loud that being a coach offered an opportunity that wasn't just another part-time job. It wasn't just something else to do to bring in money. Coaching for me in 4 short months has paved the way for us to be able to get our daughter to the next round of treatment that she needs. And it's helped us to dream again about how we can make memories with our family. And essentially, I'm earning time with my girls because I don't have to do all of those things that I've done in the past. I don't have to continue to wear all of those hats to be.
And I love that for you. Love that for you. Again, however, most people are not going to have the same story. They are not going to be able to leave their jobs or stop working as much and spend more time with their family. They're not going to be able to afford large bills because most people that join this business model lose money. You're selling them false hope, false hype. I'm sure Orville Thompson would love that from Sensi. Hope and hype.
Able to help my girls And in my short time of coaching, I just have to tell you, I have earned over $6,500 as a coach, which has been incredible for us. And what's even crazier, you guys, is that this incentive that they're going to talk about here in a little bit, if that was going on my first 3 months, I would have made another $2,250 on top of that, which is almost $9,000 in just a very short window. And that's mind-blowing and life-changing. And so coaching has been, and I believe continue to be, life-changing for our finances, for our girls, for our marriage, for our stress levels.
What about your health?
With the added bonus of being able to help my friends and family and even people I don't know change their health and their life too. And if you feel like you don't have time, I promise you, from a very busy mom and a lady that does a lot of things, you have the time. There's room in there for coaching to fit. And if you're worried about where people are going to come from, I was really worried about that too, so don't worry about that. In my first 3 months, I helped 22 people. My first month, I had 6.
So don't worry. If you have no idea what the fuck you're doing, I didn't either. And I helped all these people.
What did you help them do? Get on calls like this to tell other people that they helped people and so on and so forth? But what did you do? And how? How'd you know to do that? 18 minutes into the call and we haven't talked about the actual toxic diet product that they sell.
Second month, I had 7. And third month, I had 8. So there's people out there that need what we do. And you don't have to have it all figured out from the start.
No, you should have it all figured out from the start. You should know what you're doing when you're talking about somebody's health, financial or physical.
You just have to be willing to say yes, because your coach and this community is there to support you in the next chapter of your journey as well. Anything and everything is possible, and the outcome and the fulfillment that you will get from coaching will be more than you ever imagined. So thank you so much. And I want you to hear from Sandy, who is another newbie coach.
Hey, Amy, thank you. That was really great. You did a great job. I'm Sandy, and I've struggled with my weight issues my entire life, and I'm a little bit newer than Amy is. I've been on the program for about 6 weeks, and I've been coaching for about 3 weeks now.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Imagine this, okay? You go to your doctor's appointment. There is no other doctor. This is a full-on doctor. You're in the doctor's office. I don't know. It's a dermatologist. I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my head, probably because I need to go to a goddamn dermatologist. Anyway, you go to the dermatologist and you're sitting in the room and the doctor walks in and he says,
I found an interest in skin 6 weeks ago. And once I started reading books from the library, I said, why don't I just start my own practice? So just 6 weeks later, after reading all about the skin, I'm a dermatologist and I'm here to fix your concerns.
That's essentially what we're doing. And I know weight loss and weight management isn't really at that level yet. Hopefully it will be in the medical field. That's essentially what these people are doing. They have no training. They've done this diet for 3 weeks, eating processed food, and now they think they can help people do the same thing? Honey, you're losing muscle mass probably because you're not eating enough. So you're just helping more people lose more muscle mass. And I know they haven't talked about the product, so if you're not familiar with Optavia, let me give you a quick rundown. They put people on a diet. Their most popular one is the 5-in-1 plan, and that is where you eat 5 prepackaged meals, like soup that is powdered and you mix with hot water, brownies that you make in the microwave, granola bars, things of that nature, along with 1 lean and green meal. So we're talking chicken breast and broccoli. Yummy. Scrumdiddlyumptious. Can't wait. Bet you it has no seasoning either.
I know, it's bland.
Oof. Yuck. Anyway, so with the 5-in-1 plan, they eat 5 of the processed meals that you see here on the screen. And I use the word meals very lightly, and 1 of the lean greens. So that is what these people now are having quote unquote success with, losing weight. So they think that they can go and help other people do the same thing. When again, in all actuality, you're likely losing muscle mass because you're not eating enough. These people are eating between 900 to 1200 calories a day. That is not enough.
Right before I got on the program, I had a major event that had happened in my life, and all of a sudden I found myself completely broken down. I was broken down emotionally and physically and also financially, and I didn't know what was going to be next. I didn't even want to think about the next day. It was just too much to even think about. I didn't know where money was going to come from. I just had all these worries. And I had a lot of friends and family who began to support me to move on from what had happened. And I had a family member that came to me and she started to tell me about this program, this health program. And I think that I was on her heart list for sure. I think I was probably at the top of her heart list.
Stop it right now. Heart list. It's giving Mary Kay love money. Love check. Love money. Anyone got any extra love money they can send my way? I need some money.
Yeah, don't we all?
Anyway, it's just, giving Mary Kay love check.
And she thought that this program could really help me out. She thought that could even lead me to some financial help in my life. And so I thought about it for a minute because I didn't have a lot of money at the moment, but a lot of people were helping me. And I was thinking, well, I'm getting ready to have to buy groceries. And so I can either go to the store and buy the groceries, or I could buy these groceries through this health program and do something for me.
Mind you, these groceries are about $400 for one person.
Holy fucking shit.
For 5 processed meals a day. And then you have to also go and buy the groceries to make your one lean and green meal.
In the words of Whitney Houston, hell to the no.
And focus on myself, because I felt like it was time for me to actually do something for myself and make a move for me and my health. And I really wanted to do it. I wanted to have better health. And so I jumped on the program and I had immediate success right away. In the first week, I lost 11 pounds and it just kept building from there. Within a few weeks later, I had lost about 12 inches all over my body. And I continued. Today, I've lost about 27 pounds in 6 weeks. And it's so exciting.
What? 27 pounds in 6 weeks? Oh my God. That's an average of 4.5 pounds a week for 6 weeks. Please don't do that to your body. From looking at her, doesn't look like she had a lot of weight to lose. And that's just by looking at her before pictures. However, if anybody is claiming that, first of all, they lost 11 pounds their first week, start to ask a lot of questions. How many calories are they eating? Is it prepackaged food? Is it real food? Are they meal prepping? Are they eating enough? That's a lot of weight to lose over a period of 6 weeks every week. That can do a lot of harm to your body. And the reason they think this is so amazing and everybody should do it is because they don't have the education behind weight loss and what it can do to your body if you do it so quickly like that. You can destroy your metabolism. You can destroy your muscle mass. You could do so many things bad to your body. Just because you're losing weight doesn't automatically mean it's a good thing.
But being on the program did something else for me. It gave me a lot of confidence. At the time, I felt so down and there was nothing that was going right in my life. Everything was the biggest mess you could ever think of in your life. And this was the one thing that I had that was going right. It was, I might not have had anything, but I had this and it was going well for me. So then my coach started to encourage me to be a coach myself. And I wondered at first if I could do what she did because she was amazing. And I didn't know, I felt like I didn't have the confidence to do it, but she kept pushing me. And all of my friends and family were wondering what I was doing. They wanted to know how was I losing this weight? They could tell I just felt better. I felt amazing. I was sleeping better. I had all this energy. I just felt good. And so I decided that maybe I could make a go of it. Maybe I would try to go and do the coaching and see what I could do with it. And so I got my coach's kit about 3 weeks ago and immediately got 5 clients. And now, thank you. And now I'm getting a chance to help them build their confidence. So not only am I able to pay for my program with the money I'm making from coaching that I can keep on with my health, but I'm also helping others with their health and their confidence. And then I've got money left over at the end. I even have a few extra $100 that I can put towards my bills, and it's giving me a little breathing room. But I'm just going to tell you that a few of those $100, I might have to go and buy me some new clothes because my clothes are all getting way too big on me. And
it always comes back to the financial piece of it. They're all really doing it for the money, it feels like, and not because they want to help people. Because deep down, you have to know deep down somewhere that like you don't have the actual tools you need to help somebody with their health. You have to know that at this point. Your subconscious has to be somewhere down there like,
hey, this is wrong.
I'm getting ready to need some new clothes. But I can't wait to see what the coaching leads for me. It's brand new to me and I'm excited about it. And I can't wait to see where it builds from here. So, yeah. But also next we have Miss Alicia. She's amazing. She's got a story to share with y'all. So if Alicia's out there, we'll hear from her next.
Hey guys, I'm so happy to be here tonight. And I'm so inspired to hear, new coaches who are seeing such success. It's super exciting. So I'm going to share a little bit kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum because I've been coaching for just at 7 years. Tomorrow's actually my 7-year health anniversary.
I don't know, but something feels off.
This specific girl is giving satire. Is it just me? It looks like that's totally a green screen behind her, and she's about to satire the Is that a verb?
Yeah, I don't think so, mate.
We made it a verb. She's gonna satire the out of these Optavia coaches. Sadly, I'm pretty sure that's not what's gonna happen, but that's what it looks like she's about to do.
Me and I started program 7 years ago tomorrow, and in November I became a coach. So just about 6 weeks later. And so I want to share just a tiny bit about the beginning, but I want you to really hear about what can be on the other side.
Just 6 weeks later, I was a coach. What the That's a bad sign. You don't have enough time to figure out what you need to do to help other people in 6 weeks of just helping yourself.
Years down the road. So a lot of you've heard my story before, but I'm a single mom of 3. I have children from 25 to 8 years old. 7 years ago, they were a little younger.
I do also have to say that I might start talking in a Southern accent during this because of their Southern accent. When I was working in the hair salon, we used to just randomly talk in accents, and the Southern one was always my go-to, and it still is. But sometimes I'll just do it without even realizing it. So sorry.
And life was a little harder. I really going through a divorce at that time and starting over completely from scratch. I had moved home, me and my children, to my mom's, and was really just starting over. I remember my coach offering the coaching opportunity to me many times, and over I told her no. Like, I had no desire to coach. I've always been the real quiet girl that, didn't really talk to people unless they taught me first. So I was like, this is not the fit for me, but thank you. I love the slide that Jenna shared. I think it says 78% of people never thought that they would become a coach. That was me. But very quickly, as I was having tremendous results, I decided just to give it a go. Like, what could it hurt?
Where should we start a Rooski?
And honestly, guys, it changed my whole life. So I often joke, especially with like new coaches that are coming into my organization, I tell them, people probably follow me on social media and they think that Alicia has lost her whole mind because I talk about how it's changed my whole life. But y'all, it's so much bigger than just losing a little bit of weight. When we lose the weight, not just on our physical body, but in our mindsets, we lose limiting beliefs. We begin to have confidence, and it changes our whole life.
That's true. As somebody who just lost 70 pounds, that is true. However, sometimes you have to like reel it in. Like, hey, do I really know how to help people lose all the weight that I just lost? Or do I only know how to help myself lose all the weight that I just lost? Reality check, girlfriend. That has to be a green screen though. I just keep looking at it like that does not look real.
My children have a different mother, a confident, energetic mother. But even bigger than that, the finances for me with Optavia have opened up doors and opportunities that I could have never been able to step through these doors had it not been for the income here.
No, those are lies that your leaders told you when you joined. You could step through any door you want to. You don't need an MLM to be stepping through doors. You got this. We can do hard things. We can step through doors on our own.
So again, I was a single mom working full time, teaching art, which I love. Like, God gave me a beautiful gifting, and I've been able to meet a ton of people. What's really cool is like, whatever your world is right now, like your circle, your ministry, the Lord is going to connect the dots. And so as I was meeting all these really awesome people through my art ministry, now they have become my clients, and I get to love them on even a deeper level. So it's so sweet. But as I really stepped in scared and afraid and quiet and introverted, I just began to grow a little bit at a time. And my life changed, y'all. I remember having these little dreams. And so I'm going to speak to the person in the room today, maybe who grew up poverty like I did.
She's glitching like crazy.
She's frozen now with her eyes closed. Maybe this is satire.
You don't really dream when you grow up that way. You just learn how to survive. You learn how to get the bare minimum and how to just make ends meet. So you don't really think about dreaming. Optavia opened up my dreamer. It awakened my dreamer.
Did what?
My dreamer has been awakened.
Is that what we're calling it these days?
Helped me see that I didn't have to live in that scarcity mindset anymore. And so there were little dreams that I was even afraid to think on. Like, I wanted to send my children to a private school. I believe that the environment that they spend most of their days in is very important. But I also knew that would never be a thing for me. So the little things that I think that a lot of people take for granted are things that like I cry over even 7 years later as I get to walk in on Thursdays and see my daughter leading chapel while she's 8 years old in the most beautiful school. It's an answered prayer. And my daughter, my older daughter, she's about to turn 18. She gets to go to a beautiful school, Valor Global Online, and to be able to send her to mission trips and watch her serve in Africa absolutely blows me away. It takes
This is satire. I cannot believe that this is true in any way, shape, or form. Somebody snuck this in. But if, in the case they didn't, don't listen to anything she's saying. This shit won't happen for you if you join an MLM in 99% of cases.
my breath. And I'm reminded that it's the finances through Optavia. It was that scary step that took me from poverty and scarcity to really living. It's things like being able to travel the world. Deanna shared about going to all these cool places. Like, I had not seen the world. My children certainly never had. But now they get to travel with me. We get to see the world, have experiences. And guys, that's really what it's all about. But
I'm just having such a hard time taking her seriously. And I don't know why. It all feels fake.
I can travel the world and my daughter's in Africa because of Optavia.
Give me a break. Come on. What's your significant other doing for money? What's the real truth behind your Optavia business?
again, if you've grown up in that poverty mindset, you don't know that it can change. You don't know what's possible. So Optavia really has opened my mind to be able to grow and learn and live and really enjoy all parts of the world that the Lord has created.
It wouldn't be any kind of network marketing call without some faith manipulation. We got to throw Jesus and God in there somewhere. Amen. Praise the Lord.
It's been incredible to see myself coming from a 1-bedroom in my mom's trailer in Warm Springs, Georgia, to fast forward a few years later, buying literally our dream home on a beautiful lake with a gorgeous pool. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It's not about the stuff.
It's not, because it sure does sound like it's about the stuff, my friend. You are just talking about stuff.
It's about breaking off generational curses and truly beginning to live and teach my children that you can do anything you put your mind to. Optavia handed me a gift that has forever changed my life. I show up bold every single day because I know there's another mama out there that needs me to show up just like my coach did. Thank y'all for letting me share.
Guys, is that not amazing? Like, when we were talking with all these ladies, we've had the pleasure of knowing Alicia for a while, but when we got to talk to Sandy, we're like, oh my gosh, wait till you meet Alicia. She's where you'll be. And I just want to say this real quick. For some of you, everybody may be in different places financially or physically or whatever that is for you. But I do want to say this, that I don't care whether you're making a good amount of a good salary already or not, because I was making a great salary, but I still had financial pressure because I felt all the pressure on me to provide all the time. And there is no job security out there. There isn't. But the beauty of all these different stories, and I hope that you heard them all come together, is our biggest breakdown became our breakthrough.
I cannot roll my eyes any louder.
I'm going to share this slide real quick, but before, don't get all rat-holed into the bullet points. Here's what I want you to know that qualifies you as a coach.
Absolutely nothing.
You just gotta have an experience. Have you had adversity in your life? Have you ever dealt with a challenge? Have you ever had somebody help you pick yourself back up? Or maybe you've had to pick yourself back up because somebody wasn't there and wish you had somebody pick yourself back up. That's what we do as coaches, right? It says we care and we guide. Why do we care? Because we've been there. Did you hear Alicia? Did you hear Sandy? Did you hear Amy? They are paying us forward because they care. Are we getting compensated for it? Heck yeah. And we're getting compensated extremely well. Why? Because we have the experience.
You have experience where? Where do you have experience? In your own body. You don't have experience through way of education or certification or licensure or training of any kind. You have experience because you lost weight on the program. That doesn't automatically qualify you to coach other people, and it shouldn't. This shouldn't be allowed. Why are we here still talking about it?
In the professional world, you are compensated extremely well if you have experience. Why would it be any different here? Why?
Because it's people's health. You're working with people's health, their physical well-being. You could be taking years off their life. You could be killing them. That's the fucking real truth about it. That's why. Don't do it. Let them go to a doctor, a registered dietitian, a nutritionist, somebody who has training how to help bodies that are different from their own.
And it just is providing more opportunities for all of us. Yes, we talked about all these different things, the accountability support. It's just, it's the most organic thing I've ever seen. It's the most incredible vehicle, and it can be whatever that is you want. You don't have to turn this into a business. We didn't start this looking to make it into a business. No. But what happened is, thankfully, she just wanted to help a few people, and it just organically grew. But things changed for me in my job environment. And I don't know what we'd have done had we not had this as a potential option. So I just want to encourage you, as we were talking to this evening, and we're going to get into some numbers, because if you're like me, it's like, hey, show me some numbers. We're going to get into some numbers here, because that's pretty mind-blowing. You're getting paid at a professional level now, okay? This is not a hobby. That this is so cool that
you're getting paid at a professional level without being a professional. And that should be a red flag. In some cases, that's okay. But in cases of health management, you shouldn't be making more than a professional. You shouldn't be practicing in the health management world if you are not a professional with training, in my opinion.
If life shifts on you, to be able to go like Amy did, being a client for 8 years, go, hey, you know what? I've got some options. Because here's the beauty. In the business world, you got to pay brick and mortar, employee taxes, all that stuff.
Salaries, benefits.
That is a nightmare, guys. Okay. You don't want to deal with that. We used to be business owners. There's no overhead. There's no hidden fees. We do not stock our inventory. Praise God for that. Optavia takes care of all that, right? Now, here's the thing. Here's what's really mind-blowing. What would $700 a month do for some of you? Like, what are some of those things that maybe could take a little bit of the pressure off? Right? If your car needs new tires, is that going to disrupt everything in the household? The refrigerator goes out.
But why don't you tell the people what they actually have to do to earn and maintain $700 a month with Optavia? How much do they have to sell? How many coaches do they have to sign up? Those things matter, not just that you can make $700 a month without knowing how to do anything.
What's it going to do? But $700 a month. But better yet, what would $7,000 a month? I remember,
again, highly unrealistic,
one of our mentors saying, well, put a zero at the end of that. And like, we were like, what? It was just kind of mind blowing. Think about what that looks like. Am I guaranteeing you it? No, you got to do the work, but we show you how to do it just like we do in the program.
And my favorite part of this, and oh, hang on, I'm going to go back a sec. So I'm getting too excited because I was just going to share the incentive, but the beauty of this, and I'll tell you this is the last thing I'm going to say about this, is that when I started my prior business, I didn't have a mentor who shared with me how to grow it. I didn't. It was up to me to figure it out because everybody else out there was my competition. It's not that way here. You have mentorship. If you're like, well, I've tried other things like this, but I've never made $700 before. Well, I guarantee you that your mentor, or if not your mentor, their mentor has made $700 doing this, and they can show you how. And what about the $7,000 a month? Guaranteed that your mentor or their mentor before them has made $7,000 a month doing this business, and they can help you do it.
You can guarantee that, ma'am?
Maybe she just needs a little reminder.
Let's rewind the tape.
So these figures are not guarantees or projections of expected earnings or profits.
It's the beauty of duplicity and the system that we have created. And we have this all, it wasn't David and I that created it. It was us and our mentors and their mentors and their mentors have created a blueprint on exactly how we do what we do, exactly how they did what they did, and we offer it to everyone. And so what you need to come to the table with is a work ethic, a coachability, like you don't know everything. I definitely didn't know everything.
Or you don't know anything.
And a heart to serve.
Hey, you just muted yourself, Deanna.
I muted myself. I don't think I did. I think it doesn't matter, but I'm here. I'm back. But what I was saying, we'll just take that as the enemy, but there's 3 things that you need in order.
I muted myself. I couldn't have done such a thing. Somebody else must have done it. Like the universe said, shut the fuck up, lady. You don't need to be talking anymore.
Thank you, Melanie. To do this business, you have to be coachable. You have to be willing to bring your work ethic, and you have to be willing to serve others. All right. So let's get into the good stuff. All right. This is the good stuff. All right. So There's a lot of numbers on here. Just listen, and I'll share a screenshot, and David's going to share a link at the end that you can grab, okay, that will have all of this on it. So just listen as I share. So for the next 3 months, October, November, and December, we have an incentive called the Impact Multiplier. And this is that quadruple bonus I was telling you about. So what this means is in the month of October, when you help 7 new clients, and again, your coach is going to help you do this. You don't have to go out and talk to them and figure it all out on your own. You're going to do this with support. 7 new clients is going to earn you $1,600. 7 clients, $1,600. That blows my mind. It blows my mind. In November, let's say you do that again. And these 7 reordered, because if you're a client on here, you've probably ordered more than 2 months in a row, haven't you? Yes. Those 7 reorder. I know you've got 7 new clients in November. Your compensation is $2,500 for just that month. That's going to help us do a little Christmas shopping, y'all. And then in December, let's say you help 7 clients, and you're not trying if you can't sign up 7 clients in that week between Christmas and New Year's, because everybody wants to get healthy come January 1, right? And so that's another $3,500 with 14 reordering clients. And boom, that's a total of at minimum $7,744.52.
You have to get 7 new clients every month that reorder, and a qualified client. It says here at the bottom of the screen that they're showing in very, very fine blurry print, qualified clients must be coach converted. So does that mean they have to join Optavia in order for you to get this bonus? 7 new clients every month for 3 months, 21 people recruited to an MLM without any knowledge on your health and how to coach you through that. 21 more people that don't know what they're doing. That's a great idea. I love it. Please note the sarcasm.
But what if you're like, well, Deanna, you said you only brought on 5. And I heard Sandy say she brought on 5. This guy over here, he brought on 14. He was kind of a hot shot his first month. And he had 63 friends on Facebook. So don't let that be your excuse. But let's say you just bring on 5. Okay. We're just gonna go kind of like mid here to speak like my teenager. Mid.
That's still fucking 15 unqualified people again.
5 new clients, $1,400. Those 5 reorder, and in November you have 5 more. That's $1,900. 5 new in December. That's $2,600, or a total of $6,000. Guys, I know this is a lot of numbers coming at you, but just trust me. Optavia has since 2017, it's paid out almost $3 billion in employee commission checks and bonus checks
and coach.
I would actually love to know how much Optavia or Medifast has contributed to people with metabolisms, with horrible relationships to food because of the program. How about those people? What are they doing? Do they care about the money that you paid out? I'm sure they don't, because now they have a lot of health bills that they have to pay because they have to fix the issues that you caused that you'll never have to pay for.
Commission checks, not employees.
Oh, I'm sorry. The coach commission checks and bonuses, and they've never missed and never been late. Not once. Not once. And we're 150 million cash strong in the bank. We're not going anywhere, y'all.
How have they helped people's health long-term, physical health?
And I want to share with you a little bit more. I shared a little bit of our story. Amy and Sandy and Alicia shared a little bit of their stories, but I want you to look at this. And guys, this is 2024 monthly bonuses from this year. These are actual paychecks from actual coaches. And if we shared with you our yearly income over the last 8 years, you wouldn't believe us anyway. So we're not going to share it, but let's just say it's in there. It's in there. Okay.
You can make this money by doing anything. That's the truth. That is the honest truth. You can make this money by doing anything. Whether or not you're doing it legally or ethically, that's none of my business.
Okay.
All right. So is that not amazing? I mean, like I said, like, guys, what other company, let's take this down for a hot second. I need you to focus. What other, by the way, I dropped in a link, so save that. What other company is increasing their compensation plan today? Anybody? Please let me know. I'd like to call them. There isn't, but we are. Optavia is.
Where? We didn't talk about a compensation plan increase. You just talked about a bonus.
And the thing is, again, just to go back, look,
I get it.
I used to say this, look, what do you need to know to be a coach? You just need to be one fueling ahead. You just need to be a few steps ahead because people want to go the journey with you. That's how I started coaching. I was not interested in coaching. I was turning them all to her. But all of my friends, all of my people were like, hey, I thought we were going to do this together. And
I just feel like when it comes to your health, that is not the case. Just because you're one step ahead or one fueling ahead, that is what their processed food is called. Their little meals are fuelings. One fueling ahead doesn't mean that you automatically have the knowledge to fix somebody else's issues. We're talking about health. If you're talking about, I don't know, starting a YouTube channel and you talk to somebody who is one step ahead of you, yes, they can absolutely help you because that is not something that you have to have any kind of certification for or formal education, no training, nothing. When we're talking about somebody's physical health, their life, there's a problem. Just because you're one step ahead does not mean that you can fix their health issues. So stop thinking that you can. That is not true. That does not apply to the health world.
And that's how it just kind of grew organically. Okay. It's just about, like Deanna said, having a great experience, wanted to pay this forward. And it's just the most incredible experience. And like we've shared all these different things, just keeping it simple. And I love what Dr. A says, just help one, help one. Okay. There's a lot of other different ways we get paid. But one of the things I want to tell you, like we have one more speaker for you. And then hang tight because at the end, we have a special offer that we're going to drop in the chat for all of you that are here. Okay.
Is it here?
Yeah. So I want to play this video because you talk about how financially taking pressures off and what it can do for you. I don't want to ruin this. So we're just going to play this real quick.
Oh man, I'm so fired up. We joined program because we wanted to lose a little bit of weight. We lost a ton of weight. And guess what? We were able to start dreaming again. As health coaches, we've been able to travel to places like Cancun. We've been able to travel with these incredible friends that we've met from all over the United States. We've been able to get poured into by leaders in Florida, where we got to take our health coaches with us and white sandy beaches, but yes, building our capacity as leaders. Been able to even get on cruise ships, but still learn how to be better human beings and better coaches. Been able to hear from James Clear, Dr. A, John C. Maxwell. This is seriously the best professional and personal development I've ever had, but you know what? Through coaching, we've also been able to provide our kids, our daughters, with experiences we would not have been able to afford before. Seeing the smiles on those faces at Hard Rock and Disney, on the beaches, creating these memories, that's our why. That's our why, our family. Giddy up.
Giddy up, everybody. Wasn't that awesome? I don't know who created that. Some guy. I don't know. But I just got to tell you, like, watching, okay, first of all, just a quick side note. If I told Mindy, if my foot is ever up by my head like Ella's foot was, you need to call an ambulance, okay? Because I'm not getting out of that. Okay, but here's the deal. I love this, we love this program. It has allowed the two of us to lose 130 pounds collectively. It has given us our life back, you guys. It has allowed us to start dreaming again. And I'd have to.
This is so overwhelming. And he's such a fast talker and he's so loud. And I'm so annoyed to think about being somebody sitting here not knowing anything about Optavia or MLMs and being thrown all of this information. It just feels like I would feel pressured to join because I must have to join because they're saying all these good things will happen. But still, I don't know the information that I need to know. So maybe if I pay, I'll get the information. Spoiler alert, you won't. It'll just be more of the same. They're all just word vomiting everywhere and talking about their successes. Their successes are great, sure, wonderful, but they don't fucking matter when you're talking about somebody else. Not once do you hear them comparing lab results with old lab results or anything like that. It's consistently,
now we're financially free. Our finances are great. We can put our kids in dance. We can travel to Africa. We can do all of these things.
Okay, but what about your results? What about the results we can't physically see with our eyes? Just because somebody loses weight does not mean that they are healthy. It could be the exact opposite.
People around you. I mean, unless you don't ever leave your house ever, there's somebody around you that's going to be inspired by your story. And you want to know what? The other thing that I don't think I put in there. Oh, yeah, I did talk about the different speakers we've heard. I'm working right now on my second master's degree. Amy, you and I have very similar stories, sister, because this is the best professional and personal development. We have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on John Maxwell certification, on master's degrees, all the things.
Honestly, I can't listen to these guys anymore. Optavia really just gets under my skin and makes me want to throw things. And I can't afford a new camera right now. But anyway, if you didn't know, I'm trying to grow my audience over on Instagram because believe it or not, it does help my channel by helping me get more brand deals and things like that. They want you to have followings everywhere these days. So if you wouldn't mind hopping over to Instagram, the link is in the description. It's always there. And just following, if you have an Instagram, a perk of that is knowing when I'm scheduling and what I'm scheduling, because I am always on my stories giving updates about what I'm filming, and I'm exporting a video to upload that same night. All of those little behind the scenes things are over there on Instagram. I'm probably oversharing a lot on there most of the time, but it's fine. We have fun. I hope to see you over there. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me while I talk a bunch of shit, and I will see you in the next one.
Someplace I could hide away. I feel like blessing my ride today. I feel like blessing my ride.